Going. Trey the Truth.
Yo. What's good, man? What's good, bro?
We locked in?
Yeah.
Another episode of Rell Gato TV. Live in the flesh. Back at it like a crack addict.
You got me stuck on these cashew.
Yo, if y'all want to throw in a sponsorship right there, all right? We'll give you access to our exclusive subscriber base of 66 people. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to everybody that has been giving good feedback on the content in the pod, and shout out to everybody that's just been trying to support and show love, and it is greatly appreciated because this social media landscape and this thing that we call content, man, it is it's pretty dried up right now. I can't say that. Let me say this. Let me just reframe it. It's a lot of people doing it, and there's a lot of places where you could put your attention to. There's a lot of things that is out. It's a lot of information, a lot of misinformation. So, yeah, it's a very, very tough space to cut into. Like I was talking with Trey about the no jumper thing and them downsizing.
Right.
And then I seen today the Math Hoffa thing. Mm-hmm. Him downsizing and not having a shop no more. And I get it. Like, being a content creator, a musician, it's tough.
I agree.
It's tough financially. And yeah. So I do appreciate everybody who has been supported. Please continue to support so that we could feel good about delivering content. And like some of the support, it doesn't cost $1. The subscription is free. A like, a comment, a genuine comment is free.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, like,
constructive criticism.
Yeah, constructive criticism, that's free, So all of these things are important. It's important for people who make content to get the feedback, because other than that, we'll start to get to a position where we question, like, why are we doing what we're doing?
I think that's a dangerous place to get to, too.
Why you say that? Bring the mic closer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm full, y'all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
For the artist, I feel like that's a dangerous place to get to in your mind, when it's like, oh, why am I doing this? Because it's like the step after that usually is, you give up.
Yeah.
And as you don't want to do that as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to give up your. Yeah. So once again, like he said, thank you guys for tuning in and supporting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. We just two black men talking.
Well, I'm a little beige, my nigga. Yeah. Respect to Allah. Respect to halal. Respect to the law, my nigga.
Oh my God. She back, she not missing no more guys.
Shout out to her though.
Shout out to her.
Yo, she did a fit check.
Yeah, I know.
They said, "What you wearing?" She's like, "Oh, these pants are from Rick Owens." I was like, "Nah."
So she had a stylist and everything.
I ain't gonna lie, it was looking tricky.
That's it.
It was looking tricky, bro.
I'm not. I don't even know what fashion is today because everybody, they doing their own thing.
So like, okay,
the big
fashion. When I see fashion now, especially somebody who spent a lot of money in trying to look cool, and then realized that was just a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Fashion has to be up there with the level of like banking in terms of how it can really scam you. You got to really break it down. Like think about it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
So you see how the tariffs and everything is going crazy in China and
right.
TikTok on China, a lot of TikTokers have been breaking down that myth. Like,
Right.
oh, your Chanel bag. Oh,
What the Chanel-y? What the hell-y?
Oh, your designer this.
Uh-huh.
Y'all are
China.
only paying, you're right. Y'all are just literally paying for the logo.
Uh-huh.
Literally the logo. This costs $10.
Uh-huh. If that.
If that.
What the hell-y? Boom.
You see,
Got him.
back to your
Got him with a 1,000% markup. Got him. You thought you was styling?
Right. Yo.
Ling Ling put that together for you. You don't even know. For slave wages. And you thought it was special. They sold you the story.
That's sick. What?
They sold you the story.
Right.
See, certain products now, when it comes to fashion, I don't skimp on. Like, because I understand the quality now.
Right,
like, there's certain things, and let me just say this, not everything is made in China. Not every designer is low quality or low grade.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Some people really, the textiles and the, right. Okay.
Some people respect the craft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I would say, from my understanding, 70% of it, especially like the garments, made in a factory where there's slave wages. And you're getting a $600 to $700 markup on a product, and you wear it, and it's supposed to give you the sense of achievement. And it really doesn't matter.
It really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. I have two interesting inputs. That's the word I'll use for now, just for the lack of words.
Yeah.
One of them was, I remember high school. My man Tip, he put me onto Muhammad. 23rd Street.
Oh, you was down there with the white tees?
With the white ups.
Oh!
The white up.
Nah, them joints would fall apart, though.
Bro, they would.
They had the fake babes down there,
They had to fake everything.
Yeah.
Everything you wanted.
Yeah, everything.
I was there, though.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hold on, wait. Y'all paying... I could come to Muhammad.
Right.
$25.
Right.
Yeah. I buy a couple.
Yeah.
And when they fall apart, you feel me?
You re-up.
Yeah, re-up on it. Yeah, you feel me? So, yeah, that was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Nobody.
I remember I used to go down there to 23rd, and I used to buy, like, the T-shirts. This is when the tall tees was in style.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to buy those in bulk. And I used to see, like, just the level of other designer stuff that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, at that time, I didn't really have too much money, so I couldn't even afford the fake stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get into, like, the fake Uptown thing.
Yeah.
I didn't do that because my dad was, like, a real, like Uptown, like Harlem.
Yeah.
He used to call them Harlems. That's how, he. And so he would, whenever he buy a pair, I'd get a pair. So I didn't really have to.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in hindsight, both of them are made in China. And they tell you on the tag. And how much is a pair Uptown now?
100.
$100?
Yeah, maybe.
Man, I remember it was like 70.
Yeah,
cash.
bro. Yeah. Clean. Now
Easy.
they upcharge, niggas. Nelly would talk about, ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Upcharge. Yeah, you know how that go.
Yeah. Thanks, Nelly.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Country grammar.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck out of here. Excuse my language. I'm gonna bleep that out. That was terrible.
So it was that. And then what was the other input I had? I may have to circle back to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to circle back. It's somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. What are you talking about?
We were talking about made in China.
Made in China.
And we was talking about the markup of fashion and the markup of, and how I feel like fashion is one of those scams.
Yeah, one of the biggest ones.
Yeah. I've been struggling with something too, Trey.
What?
I've been struggling with my faith, man. I've been struggling with my faith.
Yeah.
Not that I don't believe in Jesus Christ.
What is it?
I've been seeing a lot of church exposure stuff.
I have as well.
Right?
Yeah.
And
is it not to cut you, but is Lock the Doors one of them?
Nah, I don't know that one.
Oh.
You gotta put me onto that.
Okay.
But I've been seeing like other stuff with like different pastors and like different just churches, and we was talking about what's the guy's name, the Jamal, what's the guy's name that did the Target, the Target boycott. Jeez, what's his name, bro? We was just talking about this guy, Pastor Jamal, the one who said boycott Target. Hold on, Jamal Bryan, I think.
He a young one of the young.
Yeah, he's a minister. Yeah, this guy. So
that was the one who said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
wow, he got my birthday. That's crazy. That go crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
And like I was just saying, like I'm having a hard time because I had my boy Trey on here and we went out to dinner, and he was telling me like, "Yo, Rell, what church are you a part of?" I said, "Well, I was part of a church, but I had seen something that threw me off, bro. Yeah. It blew my mind. I was like, wait, what?" And I'll tell you, like, I don't care, whatever.
Right.
So I was going through the church, and it was cool. I was worshiping, fellowshipping, doing the whole gifting and honor and all that stuff.
Christian church.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really understand the denomination, so I can't say that this is what I am.
Okay.
I just say I'm a follower of Christ.
Okay. All right.
To the best of my ability, because I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Sometimes I curse. My mind goes different places.
Yeah.
That's besides the point.
I mean, we human.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I seen something that just threw me off. Like, I was going to services, and then one day, they had the Masons come in. Like, Masons?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. All right. So they came in. I'm like, paying attention to stuff like that. And then they came in, and it was very weird. Like, my spirit was kind of like telling me, like, yo, watch this. You're going to see something. So we're there, and then the Reverend gets up, and he goes, "Hi, we have the special guest, such and such, from this lodge here. And they would like to come and worship with us and say a few words." I'm confused. I'm like, okay, this is... Because from what I understand, that's
a different...
day and night.
Right. Yeah,
day and night.
Yeah.
So I'm, okay, cool. So they get up, and then I see the head of the lodge get up, and he hands the Reverend a check. And I'm like, wait. So he makes the donation. Okay, cool.
Ties.
Right. And then they start singing a song. And then I'm looking for God in the song. And I couldn't find God in the song. I was like, we talking about the Lord or what? And I was like, and then something in my spirit was just like, Rell, pay attention. Because you thought that the devil is only in the world. Think again. The devil, or what we know of as the enemy, is well in the church system.
Right.
The first place is in the church system.
Right.
And I went a second time, and it was like the same thing happened again. And I was just like, this is being bought and paid for. And I was just like, I can't in good conscience come back here because if it's going to be a church masquerading as a lodge, then what am I doing here?
Right. Yeah.
What am I really doing here? And
who would you be serving?
Who am I serving?
Yeah. And
it's not like I'm being convicted.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like I'm doing something wrong. It's just like, pay attention. I want to show you something. And yeah, I haven't found a place to worship yet because now I've been like very hesitant. I still believe in God.
Right,
I'm still, praying. I'm still reading my scripture, but I'm very, very mindful on who and what church I go to, because I'm starting to realize, like, nah, there's a heavy game of control in the church, and it is not about following the Lord. It's about following another man. And I'm not falling victim to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I just can't, not at this stage of the game. I see why my father never wanted to get involved with the church. I could understand why, because it becomes less about God and more about religion, if that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
the construct of it.
Yeah, but I've been having a little trouble with that, man. I have a little trouble with that. It's been tricky.
It's interesting you say that, because I was thinking, I know today is Palm Sunday and everything.
Yeah.
And then I know next week, if I'm not mistaken, it's like Easter Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
That's correct.
And I've been having my own battle. I'm like, well, they say, it depends how you look at it, because it's like there are Christians who celebrate that, but then there is people who say that's the pagan.
It is pagan.
It's pagan, right?
Esther.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, what are we really doing? And then my mom today, she's like, oh yeah, Easter and that. This is the story when he was, they did this, and I'm just sitting here listening to this. I'm like, bro, my spirit is not.
Yeah.
It's not moving how I feel like it should move. I feel like, especially now I'm older, like, because she said something today. She was like, oh, you remember when this used to be our favorite time of year? We all used to go to church together and
go out to eat.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like, all that time it was just like, what are we really doing for real? Like, what we really celebrate? What was this? Is this shit? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. It's interesting. So now that I know that, I'm conscious of that. I don't even want to be I'm gonna go there to do what?
Right.
You feel me? I'm gonna be around a whole bunch of people who are celebrating something that is pagan.
Yeah.
Nah. And then what does that do for me?
It confuses you.
Yeah, right. You feel me? So yeah.
My daughter confirmed that for me. She told me, hey, Dad. I said, what, baby? She goes, are we going to the church? Because I want to do the Easter egg hunt for autumn. It wasn't even about Christ.
Right.
Christ has been in her mind already at 8 years old. She don't know better.
Yeah.
But in her mind, Easter is associated with bunny rabbits, eggs, fertility, all of this other goofy stuff. And nah, I told her, no, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's tricky. So,
because it's indoctrinating and everything. And then it's like, it kind of makes, maybe it makes you look away as a parent, I guess, because you aren't allowed.
Of course.
Yeah, you see the mind thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Even the whole Christmas thing.
I fall victim to it. I do.
I feel like a lot of people do, because it's like you don't want to go against the grain too much.
Yeah. And that's how they get you.
Yeah.
They start you off with your kids.
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, your kid says, hey, we don't celebrate Christmas or this, that, and the third. And they say that to their school teacher, who is obligated to report any sort of misconduct to the school. They could perceive that as, oh, the child is being neglected, taking note. The child is doing this, taking note. We need to call the home to see what's happening at the home. And then it gets tricky. How do you tell your kid when you send them to public school that they can't celebrate everything that the other kids are celebrating?
Right.
Systems are crazy. Like, when they say the devil's in the details?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, the details is really stuck in what we know of as a system. When you look at, like we was talking off camera about the gang stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Big U and all of that.
Right, yeah.
Another system.
Definitely another system.
The devil's in the details.
Definitely another system. Because I was just breaking down, now that everything is coming out, I was kind of just breaking down everything with Nip. That whole transition and everything that happened after. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like,
nasty work.
Very much so. 10 years?
Nasty work.
That's a crazy deal.
What's whack as well is Wack getting on the camera or getting on a recorded call with Hassan Campbell talking about this man. And, first and foremost, I don't know Nipsey. Rest in power for what he represented.
Yeah.
But for you to talk about another man's sexual escapades to another man, and I get why he was saying it. He was talking about being extorted. It's still like a level of that system is trash because there's no loyalty in it.
Right.
There's no loyalty in it. I don't care what nobody say. Anybody who's watching this and they know me in person, I'll say it to your face. There's no loyalty in it. You can take it how you want it. There isn't. And they get you when you're young.
That's the trick of it.
That's the trick.
Yeah, that's the trick of it.
Before you even have a fully developed brain.
Your frontal lobe.
Speaking of that, my son Charleston White bugging. He out here calling babies ugly. This guy, he's off the hook. Some of the stuff he says is right, though.
Hey, I do agree with I want to say a good 70% of the stuff he be saying.
Yeah.
Other 30% be wild.
Yeah, he do be wild.
You feel me? But the
Yeah.
70% definitely. Definitely. Yeah, bro.
What the hell?
Yeah. Right, bro. We love it.
We love it.
We love it.
We love it.
Oh my God.
We love.
Bro. Prior to me coming here, another thing that I was confused. I'd just be like, what?
Yeah.
It was this girl, she made a Lululemon song.
What's that?
You know Lululemon is like a
the
footwear.
Yeah.
So she made a song about it.
Yeah.
The song is kind of sound like some sexy red shit. But she was on one of these streamers things and they were talking about the song and they were wearing the Lululemon. So she had mentioned how the owner of Lululemon doesn't like black people.
I'm not surprised.
Right. So there was a girl on TikTok, she made a video reacting to the video of that. And she was like, oh my God, I love the fact that she made that song and the owner also doesn't like black people. So we should keep promoting the song. So I'm like, hold on, wait. We're going to keep promoting the song so that people
can promote the brand.
I said, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. We love it.
We love it.
We love a train wreck.
All right.
We love it. And you know what? It's not going to stop.
I stopped having the whole, it used to bother me a lot. Like, damn, but now I don't even get, I'm like, all right. Yeah, that's what y'all doing. All right, bro.
You have no other choice, bro.
Yeah.
You have no other choice. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Right.
You have, bro. I was just telling you, bro, anybody who come to me talking black power, bro, I'm going to look at you with two eyes. And like, I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to really look at you, and I'm going to be like, bro, you know this ain't the 60s, right?
Bro.
Like, it's over,
yeah,
man.
It's clip, bro.
Black power.
Yeah, it's...
Bro. Do we really want freedom?
Nah. Nah. And then it's like, I feel like we don't even know what that is.
Because the reality is because it costs.
I think death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of things got to die, figuratively and spiritually and mentally.
And everything.
And some people ain't ready to kill certain things to be liberated. So what we really talking about? And then I've been black my entire life, Trey.
Right.
All 37 years of it. All of my direct issues came from people that look like me.
You know, I say that a lot of times.
That's just the reality. And I get it. It's proximity. I understand it.
Yeah.
So I don't take it personal, but it is a harsh reality. I don't have problems with our community as a whole pertaining to the full scope of what we've been through.
Right.
What I have a problem is we've already had enough time, from my vantage point, to realize where we went wrong, and that where we went wrong and the things that's necessary to change it hasn't been explored properly. So, like, what do I mean by that? Like, we know for a fact that in the black community, the dollars leave quickly.
Right.
You make the money, you earn the money, it leaves the community. We know that, right? However, we still support artists, creatives, and I'm guilty of it, that promote getting these brands that are not within the community that we don't produce. Like what you said, the Lululemon, right? We still promote that, knowing
that.
Because it's not, by now we know this. By now we know this. Everyone has been on Google.
Right, bro.
Everyone has seen Dr. Umar.
Right, bro.
So we know this,
bro.
but we still want to promote Lululemon. We still want to put it in our rap songs. We don't want to talk about black-owned brands. Because here's another thing that I realized, too. Saying a black-owned business has a stigma. it means less quality, poor customer service, poor product, nasty attitude, scamming, so forth and so on. And here's the reality. We participated in that as well. And we got to be honest.
Yeah. You right. You right.
We got to be honest.
You right. You right. You right.
Like, think about this, right? They say, yo, if you don't go to the Jamaican restaurant and the customer's not rude or the cashier's not rude
then
and the food not good,
right?
why does it have to be
That's
that
a
way?
fact. That why?
And where did that stigma come from?
Right.
That's just not
that's not okay.
random. And that's not okay.
Right,
There's a space where the food and customer service could be good. But we don't want to hear that. What the hell? We don't want to hear that.
Bro. It's interesting. That is interesting. You definitely right on that one because I've always heard that thing. Yeah, I always heard that. And
if the food ain't good unless they rude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I don't.
And that's the myth.
Yeah.
There's nice people that I've interacted with that I bought food from that had Jamaican spots. Very nice at the register, and the food was busting.
Facts. It's that. I think it's actually the negative, the flip side. Like the food may be better.
It may be better.
Yeah.
But where did this stigma come from?
Us.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, we created the stigma for us. Yeah.
There we go. Or like, let's go into this whole thing, right, with the BBLs, right? And let's go into this whole ideology. And let me just say this, like, I got to put my Pepsi down for this. There has never been a collective of black men that came together in this space of what we call black life and had a committee meeting and said that we like wigs and BBL. That's never happened.
Yeah,
but
agree.
Women think, or they have said, not all, but I've heard that a lot of women from our community say that we like these things without giving any factual evidence as to when did we say as a collective we like these things. Because each man likes their own thing.
Own thing, right. And the narrative usually comes from maybe one man they've encountered, right?
Right.
Telling them they didn't like their natural hair. And now...
that is such a crazy thing.
Right.
That's why I said we've never came together and agreed and said that this was the standard that we as men want from women.
I agree.
But women came together and agreed on a standard that they're wanting to give
for,
because and not all. I'm not gonna say all, and I'm talking specifically for black community, black women, blah blah blah, whatever. I've realized this. A lot of women don't do things for our attention and what we actually like. They do things to compete with other women, but not for us. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, and really think about it. Really think about it.
Because I know me and my friend, my circle, majority of us, we don't like that. Right. So
who are they doing it for?
Who are they doing it for? Other women they see who are also getting BBLs, trying to compete with them for I don't know who.
Who?
The mystery. I'm trying to figure out how much he make again.
100,000, 200, eight figures, 6 figures, 6-pack, over 6 feet.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
that guy.
That
guy. No kids. Yeah. And travel the world, owns that shit.
Yeah. And
a gangster. He's a gangster as well.
And loves God.
And he loves God too.
With no jail record.
None.
And he solely just wants you.
Yeah.
The nigga that doesn't exist. That's what. So in other words, this is all for A unicorn.
Yo, yeah, basically. Yeah, him.
He doesn't get hurt. He
Yeah.
doesn't have no feelings. He doesn't age. He doesn't have no problems.
He's an alpha male.
He's an alpha male. But he's sensitive. What?
Yo, son.
What are we doing?
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Look,
bro.
I work with white people. I work with people from all different backgrounds. They don't have this many requirements. And I'm not going to lie. For what I've observed, they don't do all the extras.
I'm not going to hold you. I agree from what I've seen
From my scope. I'm not saying it all, this is the end all be all. I can only speak of my experience.
Yeah, I'm speaking from my experience as well, from what I've seen and just from the conversations I've had from other diverse. Yeah, they
don't do it.
Happily married, just quiet life.
Yeah.
Nice, small, whatever.
Everything is just chill, low key.
Yeah, Jeff.
Good job, Brad.
Yeah, I seen a video. This Caucasian lady. She said, she was talking about Costco. She said you could buy some cheap diamonds at Costco. Anyways,
boom.
You feel me? And she was like, if a woman ever asks you how much you spend on the ring or whatever, dump her. I said, wow, white lady.
Yeah.
Think of some real shit.
Think about it. Why?
Who said that the price of this shit mean I love you more or
yeah.
The mind games that was
played on us is crazy, but we know better and we still do it. We still do it. You know, I looked at my closet. I'm guilty of it, so I speak on it. I looked at my closet and I said, damn. I've spent thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars on people who don't give a shit about me. Excuse my language, Lord.
We've all done it. You know, we grow, we learn better.
And I'm not saying you can't buy a nice quality product, because I have nice quality product. I have shoes that are timeless. But I don't need all these sneakers.
Sometimes we go overboard. I remember there was a time we was practicing, when you were practicing minimalism.
Yeah.
You told me you got threw away a lot.
I still do. In a different way, though. But continue.
Yeah, nah, that was it. I remember you told me you just got rid of a lot of stuff just to lessen.
Lessen the load.
Lessen the load, And that reflects in life as well.
And going back to my closet, like, even with me spending thousands of dollars, it's still minimalist. It's just designer.
Right.
Minimalist.
Peace. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have a bunch of stuff. I have stuff that I really, really like, but it doesn't negate the fact that I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on it. And the reasons as to why I spent the money on it, if you want to be honest, 60% to 70% is because I actually like the quality.
Okay, I was about to say that.
I actually like them. The stuff that I have, I like leather products. So any good leather product, I like it.
Okay.
Right? But did I really need to? No.
I feel that.
No. And do I have some stuff in my closet to impress other people? Yes.
I feel that. Yeah. Because why not just get some Lees?
I mean, I got denim tears. It's the same thing.
Right.
I have gallery department jeans. It's the same. It's literally Levi's.
But material though, you feel me?
Name brand.
Yeah, they make it look cool.
Yeah.
Nigga. Oh, do I want Hollister jeans or do I want some Subies?
Do I want some Subies?
You know?
Both of them are cheaply made.
Right. But Subi just sound
better. Yeah, it sound better.
You feel me? Marketing is a hell of a thing.
Hell of a thing.
Sidebar.
What's up?
This just came in my. I didn't like how they did my girl, Alicia Rashad.
Oh, not. You see, that is exactly what I'm talking about. whoever. Let me hold on. Let me get some. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
You mean to tell me that Felicia Rashad is a pick me because she said put some clothes on? I'm gonna give you this. Is how I know I'm becoming old. When I go on Instagram, I always have to brace myself. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see that no more.
Yeah. I'm even. It's crazy how
it's getting annoying.
How annoying it is getting. I even had to do shit to change my feed because I
always reset my feed
because I'm like, nah, this shit is crazy. Like,
but the algorithm is crazy.
I'm like, y'all all can't be just out here gyrating.
Yeah, because I'll watch and I'll be watching like UFC clips and then I'll scroll the one UFC fighter girl at the weigh-in and the next thing you know,
you got hoochie coochie.
How's hoochie coochie up here? Sexy Red, get out of here, sexy. Get out of here. How did it happen? In 4 clicks?
Yeah, bro.
It's just being promoted in your face, in your face.
Well, you like this, right? Yeah, you like it.
All because I looked at a UFC weigh-in. And the algorithm said, topless.
Yeah. Got you.
Got him.
I got you. I got exactly what you need.
Yeah. I could look at Forrest all day and see one thing on the algorithm. And the algorithm of saying, you know what? Enough of the trees. Here's some titties. What?
Some trees in with the.
And I know some of my guys be like, why are you complaining? And this, that, and third. And you see, those guys who complain are part of the problem.
Yeah. Because at a point, I feel like, when is enough? Because I feel like I've had my fair share of what they're displaying, right? Okay, I get it. But then it's like discipline. I'm really in trying to exhibit that.
Bro.
That's a big one for me.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Bro, we used to say, yo, I'm about to go get some cheeks. Bro, there's a whole human being attached to the butt cheeks, bro.
Right.
That comes with their own problems.
Yes.
That you're going to have to deal with if you stay long enough. So we should just stop saying, yo, I'm about to go smash shorty. No, you're not. You about to give a piece of your soul away.
Ooh, that's a way better.
We don't say that.
Hey.
You don't want to say that.
Don't want to say that because that's a big one right there.
Hello.
Man, yeah, discipline is I seen there was this dude, I don't know what he's called. I may have to look on IG a little bit later or whatever, but basically he's just this interviewer. He just be interviewing random people and asking them what's their what's the term he's saying? Was surviving through something, surviving through life, or whatever he says. And then he was in Atlanta, and just everybody he was interviewing just burning. Like,
yo, listen to me, bro.
Burning.
I
said, oh God.
You have to understand something. You got to really understand something about the human anatomy, the body, etc., etc. When you really break it down, we are all just bacteria.
Right.
Like I looked at my daughter and I said, bro, you're just a biological byproduct of 2 different types of chemical reactions. I say all that to say this, bro. When you get dis-ease, it's because you're dysfunctional. There's a disarray. There's something that is not correct. Look, it took me a long time to really understand this, bro. Like, as a man, even though we could do something, doesn't mean that we should.
That is...
Like,
Can you hear that again, please?
I know I could get multiple girls pregnant. But should I?
Damn, I don't even know. Fuck. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. You cooking the fuck up right now. Yeah.
But should I?
Yeah, right.
I know I could do this, but should I do it?
Yeah,
that took me so long. Bro, I probably just learned that last year. Real talk. I could, but should I?
Right. It's interesting.
I could hit Shorty up. She gave me her number, but should I?
Should I? Yeah. Bro, I am. And that is a big, when I tell you a big one, and when you apply that, when you actually practice it, you become just that more closer to better person.
Yeah, because like
yeah.
you allow that moment to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I could eat this food, but should I? If you do that with, I could spend my money here, but should I? I could say this to this person, but should I say it?
Mm-hmm.
If you carry that all the time in every department of where you go in life, I guarantee you'll be successful. Because people who are not successful make decisions over impulse.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you hit. Sometimes it don't.
It don't, right.
But the ones who are more likely to be successful is the ones who take that second to say, should I do this? I could do that, but should I? I could go right now and buy a Benz.
But should you?
My credit is good. My money is good. I have stable income. I have job. But should I?
Right.
They broke into my car. I don't drive foreign. Well, I drive Japanese, so it's foreign. Right?
You're right.
Sure. Could I go and say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get a car that I really, really want. You know what I'm saying? I want to get a car because, this car, I could trade it in now. I could do this. Yeah, I could do that. But should I do that? No.
I'm so glad we having this conversation because I've kind of been on the fence with something. So, my whole situation with my car.
Yeah.
So I had took a loan in order to pay it. So I owned it, but then, I lost it. The car, the cops auctioned it, all that. So the past, I want to say month, I've really been sitting down, just concentrating on getting another vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to, I guess this month, I was just like, I'm going to buy something straight outright cash. You feel me? I ain't doing the whole finance shit up.
Right.
But lately, bro, I guess I had a conversation or two with two of my mans, and they like, nah, bro, you should get what you really want. Like,
are they broke?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That just goes to show.
Yeah, right.
No disrespect to y'all. Y'all not in a position to give financial advice.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, so now I'm like, the battery there, I'm like, yeah, of course. I need to get some shit that I want.
Yeah, you start lying.
Yeah, you feel me? So in my mind, I'm like, I start looking at shit. I'm like, all right, 20. So my last car, the whole 24, paid way more than that. You feel me? Insurance, all right. So next car, I'm like, all right, we get something a little bit payments and everything. I really want a Q50. So I've really been sleeping on that.
No.
After having this conversation,
no.
right? Because what is it? For what?
No.
For what?
No.
For who am I? Of course I want it, right? But it's like, for what though?
You can't afford it. My car is paid off. If I take my car off to get the car that I want, I have to go back into debt.
Right. And that's what these last payments, last 2 months, I'm out of that debt. Over. Why?
Boom.
And then that's do I hop back? That's stupid. It would be stupid of me to hop back into it. Would be I would not be learning my lesson at all.
For what?
So
exactly. You're gonna get a car to do what with?
To do what with? And that, you see, there goes society again. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get my Q50. They're just gonna see my Q50.
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why you lost the first car.
It is.
Boop.
If I'm being totally honest,
Boop.
because the focus wasn't. It was, hey, I'm here.
We out.
We out.
Huh?
And God said, sit down.
Sit down. You want to get an Infiniti to go right back to drive to hell, nigga? And for context, for context, here's the wild part.
Yeah.
You've been out on dates and done whatever you needed to do without the car.
Right. Mind. Yeah. So,
bro, I'm guilty of it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I have to always talk myself over a ledge. Here's the reality, bro. It's like an attack. Like, it's an attack on all fronts, bro, for you to make terrible decisions.
Yo, bro, in the last week, what drained? Because I was like, well, I could have made a lot of terrible decisions.
All of your friends, everybody who's in your corner, all you have to do is just look at their financial statements. And you'll be the asshole for saying, bro, you ain't in position. Like my lady went and tried to give me dietary advice. I said, baby, you're not in position.
Yo, son.
You're not in position.
I was walking home the other day, and me, bro, I had to talk about this in therapy, to be honest. So I'm walking home the other day, and head always on the swivel.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of my environment.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Yeah, especially nowadays. So I'm on the left side of the street. On the right side, I see these two YNs, right? All right, cool.
Hold on, they have face masks on or shiesties?
One of them had a shiesty on, right? So cool.
Sick of these kids.
Cool, whatever. Y'all doing all right. But very aware of my surroundings. So in front of me, there's a dude doing like welding work on the sidewalk. So now the sidewalk's very narrow.
Yeah.
All right. So I see that. Then I see, right before I walk past a van, I see them crossing across the street, right? So now, senses up. I'm like, okay, this may be something.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. They come across the street, and now we got to walk past that narrow path.
Yeah. The past me. YN versus Unk.
YN versus, right, exactly, right? So
the battle of the century.
There's no space to move over, so we're going to clash. We're going to bump into each other, right?
Yeah.
What do I do? Do I, A, walk through here to bump into these niggas, or do I, B, just wait? And I picked A because I was already on this side of the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we bump into each other. Rell, as soon as we bumped into each other, I got triggered. I just got triggered. Like, I started seeing red. I'm like, all right, I want to fight now.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit.
Did you say it or?
I did it. I feel it.
You feel
feelings.
it. Yeah.
You feel me? I'm hot, but I'm not the type to just pop out on some shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So feelings hot. I turn around. They not even on it. Boom. I keep walking. So now,
because some of them niggas with shiesties be bare butt. They be soft. The toughest thing be the mask on them.
Right. Because it's just be
it's like
piece.
a fake.
Yeah.
It's like they all pump faking.
Yes.
Some of them are pump faking.
You feel me? Yeah. But that's why even put yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Because they're afraid.
Ooh. But my thing is, bro, I make sure I'm always out of people's way.
Mm-hmm.
Mind my business. I'm over here.
Uh-huh.
Why cross the street? That's my shit. Like, we couldn't even have contact if you didn't cross the street. Why even? You feel me?
Right.
So I had to take that to therapy because I'm talking about therapy. I'm like, yeah, these niggas, I be getting triggered. I'm like, I wanted to. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Because you was a former YN too. But it was different though. It was different.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I get there, and it's like we all from the hood, so we all have a type of survival instinct. You feel me? So I'm talking to him, and then he's like, we have to get to a place in which we learn how to avoid rather than even, because I was like, I knew the answer. I could have just stood to the side, let them go, because that don't do nothing for nobody. It don't do nothing for me. It don't do nothing for, you feel me? And then the whole thing of it, I was like, because I was telling him, like, my whole thing is, why even put me in a position where I feel threatened, where I feel gotta, you feel me? Get like that. Because I feel like as a black man, I got a lot to lose. You feel me? So the thing he said to me was, keep that in mind. So because you think that of yourself and you have a lot to lose, do everything in your power to avoid rather than, you feel me? And if it gets to a point in which you have to defend it, okay, you feel me? But until then, just avoid all. And I was like, that's very mindful. I was like, in a lot of situations, I could just, like, for example, I'm walking down a block and there's 15 niggas. I'm walking through the 15 niggas, bro.
You know what's so crazy? Can I be real with you?
Yeah.
I would too. And I've done it before, even as a grown man.
Right.
But I didn't do it on no tough guy stuff. I remember I was walking to the A train one time going to work. And it was a bunch of dudes. And they were standing in the front. It was in the morning. And, you know, I do tech, so I just wear regular clothes, jeans, regular sneakers, nothing over the top. And they were standing. And it wasn't like 15. Probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I just walked through. Because in my mind, in that time, I knew and I felt that by the grace of God, no matter what, I'm good. only by the grace of God.
Right.
And nobody could take that from me.
Right.
And if I was to get in a place or a space where I feel like I have to defend myself or do something of that nature, that could be based on a perspective that I created in my head.
Right. Mm-hmm.
For all I know, they could have just been minding their business. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now when I say all that to say this, when I move around in these streets, I focus on not really what everybody else is doing, but what God is doing with me as I'm walking around. Like I don't feel like I gotta get like that. Even when young dudes pass me.
Yeah.
Because I already know like my relationship with God is really and truly all that I have. Like when you say that you have a lot to lose, I understand that on a surface level, but the reality is that you're going to lose it some way in form or fashion.
You're definitely right about that. Yeah, regardless, and I have no power of that.
Right, you have zero power.
Right,
like there's no person who passed away right now concerned about this place and what they lost. None, guaranteed. They're not like, damn man, yo man. Back when I was alive, bro.
You right about that. Yeah.
Niggas got me from my Honda Accord. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
They, so I say, let's say this. Like, I get the whole thing. You got a lot to lose. But the reality is you don't. You have, the only thing that you really truly have right now as you're stopping by is a temporary way of connecting with God while you're in human being form. But all of this here is temporary, bro. None of this lasts forever. Everything has an expiration date on it. And so I see what your therapist was saying about the avoidance thing, but for me, that's like living in fear as well. Like, there's a difference between consciously using wisdom to avoid negative situations versus having to cross the street deliberately to avoid something that you think may happen. Like you would be paranoid all the time. And you wouldn't have peace. I'd say you walk with the peace of God and
I like that one better.
You don't get disturbed.
Right, yeah.
Because I like think about it. We live in New York. So what you mean? You gonna avoid the YNs on this block? You gonna go 10 more meters and then there's another collection of shiesty mass niggas? You gonna be looking like Frogger crossing the street. I'm not doing all of that.
Nigga said walking the street.
And then now you looking really sus. Like, who is this zigzag nigga walking just in the middle of the street? Oh, he's scared.
Yo, bro.
And think about it, bro.
No, right, yeah.
You avoiding. I'm not doing all of that.
Facts.
If this is my day to go,
that is how I.
If this is my way to go, and this is my day to go, here's two things that I know for sure. I know that I know for a fact that I know who my Lord and Savior is. That's number one. And I know for a fact that I got to go anyway.
Right. That one, yeah. Right.
So if this is where it's going to be,
then it's
okay. But I'm not going to, maybe one group of YNs, I'll be like, all right, I ain't going to pay too much mind. I ain't going to avoid, I'll just talk to God through the whole thing. But then if I bump into it, I'm not doing all of that. Now, I'm not saying, and here's the flip side, because I don't want nobody to be dumb. If these niggas start shooting or something like that, you better do the little Kim and start avoiding some bullets. I'm not going to say just stand there like, oh, God got me. The bullets will not touch me. No, I'm not doing that. Nigga, you better duck. You better do something. Jesus loves me. No. Not saying that, but I'm saying not to live in fear.
Yeah.
I can't, because it's too much. It's too much, bro. You go, look, think about it, bro. You go up the block, you dodge YNs. You go up the block, you see another group of YNs, you dodge them, you like, oh. Man, so you dodge them, now you get by the train station, you see another group of YNs, you bypass that. That's 3 groups of YNs that you have bypassed in 10 minutes. You swipe your Metro card, you like, yes, man, I get on the A train, man, I finally get some rest. You swipe the Metro card, these YN niggas flood the train now. Now what you gonna do? Where you going? Now you gonna get up to the train and then you gonna go to another, bro, what we saying, bro? Nah, I'm not doing all that. Where you going? No, bro. No.
Yo, son.
Because some of them be really like soft. Look, I'll be real with you, bro. You know what I think I solve a lot of stuff? is if a lot of young guys get a membership
The MMA gym.
to an MMA gym.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Brooklyn MMA. Let some YNs come in there thinking they tough, and they go to BK MMA. And they get down on that mat with some of them high schoolers. Same age. I got a dude named McKenna. This kid is 17 years old. He will put you on your back and put you in a position that you didn't even know was possible. I've seen him do it to grown men. Let some of them YNs, and you see him, he's a good guy. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
But he'll beat you. Some of the YNs need to take the shiesty mask and go to the mat and say and tell and let them go talk to Coach Terry and play tough over there. And let one of them little 17-year-olds beat you to what? See, they need some of that, bro. And you can't get your gun. You get no gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your shiesty ain't gonna save you. You can keep your shiesty on. They will punch that mask right off your face. Some of them need that. They do, bro. They need that outlet. And then after they get beat up, they'll get they'll get the teaching as to how that even happened.
Yeah.
And then now you get a little humility. You understand? A lot of stuff that we go through, a lot of things could be mitigated with like constructive things. But still, like, bro, it could get real.
Yeah.
Because here's one thing I learned about MMA, bro. Here's one thing I learned, bro. You think you tough, bro, you'll get beat up by somebody who works in Olive Garden. He will knee your face off, bro.
I believe that.
You would have no other choice but to get a weapon. You couldn't do nothing with him. And he's a waiter at Olive Garden.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I saw I'm gonna be honest. The MMA, they scared me.
Yeah.
I saw another dude, he was like, yeah, I wanted to be a fighter. And then he was like, yeah. And then the next picture, his jaw was broken.
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
Oh, I like my jaw being low.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I've had 2 concussions since I've been training. Two concussions, a rib injury, and a bad back. That's because I'm on. So the back is my fault. That's it. Yeah.
Yo.
It go down.
Yeah,
I thought.
bro.
Let me tell you something. When I first started, bro, I thought I was. I was humble with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, one thing that I learned was the self-control and sparring, because I didn't know. You know, when you start, you think sparring is a fight, like how you used to fighting in the streets.
Yeah.
Man, this nigga hit me with a left hook, bro. This my guy too.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know the difference on how to spar properly. That left hook taught me. You give as much as you could take. And I was going with him. He was going, bah, bah, bah. I'm brawling. He's technical.
Mm-hmm.
I did one thing, dropped my hand. That left hook came clean right on the button. Bow! Concussion.
Oh, damn. Shit.
Taught me a valuable lesson, bro. Valuable lesson. So a lot of the YNs, they never had that. A lot of them with them shicey masks be soft, bro. They just need a hug.
Yeah.
They soft, bro.
Right,
A lot of them can't fight.
Right.
They don't got a gun.
Yeah.
All they got to make them feel tough is the mask.
Yeah.
Batman, get out of here.
Yo, son.
I
feel that. Heavy on they just need a hug. Niggas ain't had no guidance. So
Get on that BK. Get on that BK MMA mat. That joint will make you a man. You understand? Get on that mat. That'll make you a man.
Some humbling.
And it'll tell you that you gotta respect human beings.
Yeah.
No matter what they come, because you never know.
Heavy or you never know. That's
You
why I
never
don't play.
know.
That's why I don't play no. I just about my business.
Yeah.
So I would hate to come across a. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You never know, bro.
You feel me? That's why I definitely just be minding my business, bro. I don't bother nobody.
Yo, you gotta be like that,
me?
bro. The shiesty mask don't make you a gangster.
Yeah, definitely don't. And I for one, sir, because I had to think about that. After I saw that video, then I had to realize myself, I was like, wow, am I really a fighter? No. I just protect myself. I'm not a fighter.
Most people are not.
Yeah.
There's a study. Most men overestimate their fighting capability.
Yeah, I'm honest.
Right.
Yeah, I could protect myself, but fighter, nah.
There's a a fighter is used to getting punched.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people are not used to getting punched.
Right.
And then fighters are used to getting punched by somebody who has equivalent skill set.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole range, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So you think you gonna just throw something at one of them? First and foremost, they gonna look at that swing and they're gonna be like, bro, you don't hit harder than the guy that I got hit by yesterday. I'm gonna crush you. So no, I'm not even a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm a student.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've sparred with fighters.
Yeah.
I've had great rounds with fighters.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dog Zach. Sat right there in that chair right there.
Mm-hmm.
Fighter. Got in the ring. Shout out to my dog Dell. Coming up soon. Fighter. Shout out to the guys who got in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Fighters. Bully. Coach Mega. You understand?
Yeah.
Fighters. Shout out to Farouz. Shout out to Gustavo. Fighters. I'm a student. I'm humble when I get in there. Because I already know. They know. Mind you, I went with a lot of them. You doing this. Shout out to my dog Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Fighter. These guys are craftsmen with this shit. So when somebody say they know how to fight, you don't know how to fight. You don't know how to fight unless you went up against one of them guys. Because those guys are fighters. You may know some self-defense.
Yeah.
But you ain't a fighter.
That's why I feel like with the whole 4 extra shit, like I feel
Yo,
like
look, bro. Look.
I feel like he would really like just get.
He gets in the ring with a guy if his weight class that has MMA experience. If there's 10 fights that they do, he'll probably get 1 off out of the 10. Because he's going to go up against somebody who's trained in combat. Mm-hmm. You going to think you throwing boxing and then the guy just going to take you down. He going to wrestle you. Mm-hmm. You can't swing if your ankles are being attacked. Mm-hmm. What you going to do, hit his back? Then he going to sit up there and put you in something you didn't even know your body could be put into. And I'm not trying to disrespect 4 extra, but I thought the same thing. Yeah. It's levels, bro. Most dudes ain't prepared to catch an elbow to the face. Yeah, you throw your hands, he'll block it, and you get hit with an elbow before you even got a chance to even react.
I seen John Jones sparring with somebody, and he threw a spinning elbow. I said, bro, that shit would kill somebody.
Shout out to my dog Haim, young fighter. Sparring with Farouz. They going at it. Mm-hmm. Farouz hits him with a spinning back kick to the brain. You hear me? His body spun like a Beyblade. That wasn't even at full power. Concussion. So, bro, this is a different... When people say they can fight, they fighters, I used to say the same thing. Bro, no. The guys who put in that pain on the mat, they are fighters. I know something. I know self-defense. I'm a student. Yeah. I'm a craftsman of the game. Until you get in that ring and you go, first and foremost, bro, most fights nowadays average 90 seconds. Yeah. These guys are fighting 3 rounds. Yeah. 4 rounds.
It's like 12 minutes and shit.
What do you do? Yeah. What?
Yeah, bro.
In a real fight?
In a real, Stamina goes with that too.
Yeah. In a real fight? The conditioning?
Yeah. These niggas fighting bears and shit.
Bro. Literally. You think you just gonna come in there and deal with somebody who had 10 years of training? So this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, when it comes to that, that's a whole different ball game. But yo, let's switch the topic. Cause shout out to Brooklyn MMA. Love y'all guys, man. Let's go into tariffs, man.
Oh, they going crazy. I haven't really been. I just know they going crazy. I ain't tuning in. I ain't really. Trump
don't care. Yeah, Trump said 145% on tariffs in China. Chinese food is up. I went to a Chinese restaurant. Son. I thought I was winning. I said, yo, let me get the special. Get the special on the General Tso's chicken. Oh, yeah, General Tso's okay, yep. Give me all that.
Yeah.
I want all that. Came up to the price. So I said $18. I said, what? 18 cash.
Oh, they're taxing.
Bro.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Never in the history of when, bro.
Bro.
It's more than $10.
I got the shrimp fried rice though. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
That's probably what upped it.
Well, okay, yeah, because that's like 3 something.
Yeah, but the 18 though?
18 is crazy.
Maybe like 15. Y'all couldn't.
Like, that's what it would have been like 12 something. Yeah,
y'all put the 3 joints on me.
That's
for what?
Yeah.
Tariffs. Yo, my car got broken into. Used part on eBay $3.99 the day before tariffs. Day after tariffs, $700.
Oh my god! Is it coming from China?
I don't even know.
Oh,
I just think they. What do I know? Things be hitting me so left and right sometimes. I don't even got enough ample time to do research.
Shit coming from Mobile, Alabama,
I just went to my mechanic.
Yo.
For all I know, my mechanic could have got that part stolen, and I don't know.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
Tariff.
Facts. They just tariffing every facts. Now I'm thinking about this car. It's like, damn, like, yeah, they about to tariff the shit out of the car.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So, yeah, I might as well just give me a little hoopty.
Nah, not even.
Not even.
This is what you do, bro. What you do. Okay. You got bread saved up.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You do not buy a car.
Yeah.
Because you're just buying more of an expense. This is what you do. You make sure your emergency savings is good.
Yeah.
6 to 8 months. No more 3 months. You need 6 to 8 months now.
Yeah.
Right? Get you somebody who has a dealer's license that can grab it from the auction.
Okay. That's what that was my first option.
And go out of state, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Even upstate New York.
Yeah.
Jersey, if you could. Get it out there.
Okay, not Bronx.
No. Not at all. Okay?
Yo, bro.
That's what you do.
I bet. Say that.
And do not go into financing. Do not go into leasing. Do not. First of all, the interest rates are so crazy.
Yeah, 25-30%, bro. Yeah, they're beating. Yeah, bro. They are. Yeah.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Finish your degree.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah.
And then go full-fledged into what you need to do. Because if you're not making, I'm saying this to myself.
Yeah.
If you ain't making at bare minimum $85,000 a year in New York City, you're done.
Fried. Yeah. Fried. I agree.
For the basics. I'm talking like a little dinner at Olive Garden, a little car to get by.
Leisure. A little leisure.
Your apartment paid off, a little something in the bank.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I agree.
If you got kids, that's about $120,000.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So that's single.
Single 85.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Because right now I feel like it's still check to check.
It is.
You feel me? It definitely is still check to check. And I make 62, bro.
It is.
So, yeah.
Without the car.
Well, I'm still paying for the.
Well,
yeah,
I'm just saying without the car, because you paying for the loan, but you're not paying for gas.
Right,
you're not paying for tickets. You're not paying for maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
That's without the car.
Yeah, that's without. You're right. You're right about that. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. So yeah, exactly, bro. So, yeah, 85. Son.
85.
Another 20K. Yeah, with the degree, hopefully that boosts that. I'm trying to. Yeah, 85 definitely in New York.
Single.
Yeah, single. Kid 120, right? Mm-hmm.
Once you start having the babies,
that shit just
you gotta up it.
Yeah,
you gotta up it in New York.
Definitely in New York. If you're out in
if you're in PA, you can get by with 85.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one kid, you get by. You know, you get a low, get a low maintenance shorty. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing, because that should make you.
Oh, it do.
It
do. One thing I like about my shorty, she's not high maintenance.
Bro, that is a blessing.
Yeah.
That is a blessing.
Like, I bought her a pair of Hokas.
Yeah.
Loved them. Didn't have to be Chanel.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be Dior.
Yeah. That's.
I bought a pair of Clifton 9 Hokers. $1.16.
It's the thought that counts, bro.
And
that's
the comfort.
still money. Yeah, that's don't forget about that.
And the comfort.
You feel me?
So she just out here.
Feel me?
She wear them too. She get the money's worth. I'm telling you. It's different. It's different.
That's a blessing,
if
bro.
I see women with designer on, I get nervous.
Yeah. Because then there's upkeep.
Upkeep.
Yeah. No, I'm saying there's upkeep dealing with.
Oh
them.
yeah, but I get nervous for them. You know why?
Why?
Because I know what it's like to get designer, and then you'll get it, and then you need to continuously feed the beast. It never ends.
It don't.
It never ends.
I know people like.
It's like it never.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad for them.
Yeah. I see what you're saying now. I definitely.
And then like the threshold of what you spend becomes like, yeah, yo, oh yeah, bro, I just got those Dior's. Yeah, bro, how much you pay for them, bro? Yeah, it was like a band, but I got it for a good price. Yeah. What? You see how you don't convince yourself
that was a good price.
That was a good price.
Yeah.
Because on retail they $1,500.
Mm-hmm. So,
but Go had them for $1,000 or whatever sneakers it was. Rick Owens $800. Normally $1,200. But you still short $800, Goofy. I'm guilty of it, so I can speak on it. I'm speaking to myself.
I don't know. I couldn't. I was never really I couldn't do the high fashion.
I did, bro.
I couldn't do it.
I did.
I'm like, bro, what?
It's disastrous.
Bro.
It's disastrous. Bro. Like people, like Balenciaga. Remember when the arenas came out?
Yes.
I bought 3 pair of those. Right? Navy blue ones, the red ones, and the black ones.
Yeah.
People continuously to buy Balenciaga. I got off the Balenciaga train a little while ago. They just keep dropping.
Yeah. And then didn't they say they was touching kids or some shit?
I don't
know. They did a
campaign.
Yeah, the campaign. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like,
it's a little demonic. Yeah. Why is there a kid?
You feel me?
With this leash on their neck? I don't know.
Yeah.
Might have to blur that one out for YouTube, but yeah, that's Balenciaga. It wasn't us. We don't condone it.
Yo.
But yeah, man.
Wow.
Tariffs.
Wow. Yeah.
We're going through it. So
Doge.
Time to hold your money. Doge.
Yeah.
My son said. Nah, he went crazy for that. He went crazy for that, bro.
They're trying. I heard they were in Times Square or something. They were like what's it called? Marching.
What?
Yeah, to stop Doge and
they were?
Yeah.
Well, Doge gonna stop on its own anyway. It's not a permanent thing. It stops like May 18th or something like that. And like people, from what I understand, there was always like some sort of special department that always kind of like look at government spending every time a president gets elected. So this is not really nothing new. Like, but Bill Clinton had one, Obama had one.
Yeah.
So it's not really nothing like new. I just think it's because it's Elon.
And Trump.
Like it's just so out there.
Yeah.
But it's not really a new kind of concept. But yeah, their thing ends, I think, sometime in May.
So
it's only a temporary, because he was on a special assignment. He's not part of the government per se. He's like special assignment.
Okay.
So he has a limited term, and then after that,
his whole,
that was his only thing to do.
So I'm not really understanding why doesn't that money come back into the fucking system?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of nobody.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here's the reality: Trump is the president.
Yeah,
and so me living in the United States, I want him to do a good job simply because I want to benefit from it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to ruin. You know what I mean? Like I want to benefit from it. So, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they said that he was going to be able to give back $5,000 to each family from what they were able to recover from.
That's the only reason I was interested. I heard that.
He do that, bro. He do that. Niggas is buying Teslas.
Hey, not a Tesla.
Yeah. What the hell? He do that. He do. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey.
He do that. Because the way Trump look right now, well, it depends on who you ask. But there's a lot of people that like what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that are saying, I like the fact that he's willing to challenge China because China be ripping stuff off. Intellectual property, technology, pharmaceuticals, a whole bunch. That's how people perceive it.
Intel.
Yo. So they're like, look, I like the fact that he's putting these levels of tariffs. And here's the wild part. You know what's so crazy about it? We owe China money and we put
That's
tariffs.
what I'm saying, bro. That's what I was just about to say, because I'm like, a lot of our shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's very interesting. That's a very,
I don't know.
Time will tell.
right.
Time will tell. But it doesn't.
I'm trying to figure out the play here, because I was thinking about that. I was like, I know everybody's, a lot of people panicking, but there may be a play we just we're not seeing maybe. I mean, don't know.
You do see it. You do see it. It's plain as day what he's doing. He's
pressuring. I'm a pressure.
It's economic warfare.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's what tariffs essentially are. It's and what from my understanding is that he's going for what is called reciprocal tariffs, meaning you're Europe, I'm United States. If I'm putting a tariff on you for 10%, match my 10%.
Okay.
Don't do 40% and I'm doing 10.
Okay.
Because the 40% that you put on me was put on so that we can help your economy after war. But now you're out of war, so let's get back even.
Yeah. Okay.
And this way you open up free market. Because if you don't put tariffs on me, I don't open up tariffs on you. Your people could come into my market and sell, and then my people could come into your market and sell.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why if you see like in the news, it says a lot of people he put a suspension on 90 days. It's because of that. But you got to look at the bond market, because the bond market also kind of made him say, let me dial back. I'm maybe moving a little too aggressive.
Because of everything that was
right. Because the bonds, once people stop buying United States bonds, they lose faith in the market.
And that could make,
that's why they were talking about, I seen an article, they was like, we're headed to a recession, all this
right,
extra shit.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Because the bond market, the bond market is like the foundation, because the bond market is supposed to be a guarantee. Stock market is not.
Yeah.
So if the bond market is looking shaky, that means that the guarantees of particular bonds are not looking too good, because people are losing faith in the company, in the country. So why would I buy bonds in the United States when I don't believe in the United States? And so the bond market drops. It's like, okay, the world is not really buying United States bonds, treasury bonds. So if the world's not buying United States treasury bonds, they're not buying into the bond market, and that is supposed to be the foundation. That is an indicator that faith in the U.S. dollar, in the U.S. markets are going down.
Right, and that we don't want that.
We don't want that at all.
We definitely don't want that.
Because we lose status.
Yeah.
Because there's something that people should watch. It's called, I believe it's called The Economic Downfall by Ray Dalio. He talks about the bell curve and how every superpower who gives currency has about 250 years for them to be a superpower before a new global new world order comes into play. And the United States is at the 250-year mark, or maybe a little bit over. Because what happens? United States, we get off the gold standard, right? And then we issue.
That's also rising back.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So we were a superpower and doing really, really well, right? And then Nixon takes us off the gold standard, and then our economy continues to plummet. COVID comes, we pump trillions of dollars into the economy.
Right.
Everybody's up, everybody gets stimulus, and then what happens? You get all of this funny money in the economy, and it's backed by nothing. So if it's not backed by nothing, then it means that it loses value. If it loses the value, that means that the cost of goods and services, it doesn't go up. It just takes more of that same funny money to buy it, because the value of the dollar went down. So the prices ain't up. It just costs more dollars to get the same exact product.
Hold up. I'm trying to connect because I'm like, I know they did say this in the Treasury that they kept printing money during COVID just to
$80 trillion.
Jesus.
Never done that before. 4 years, $80 trillion.
But it was backed by nothing.
Backed by nothing, because we were off the gold standard since 1972. In other words, we didn't have enough gold to back $80 trillion of printing. We didn't have enough gold to back what was already being printed since 2008 during the bailouts. But $80 trillion in 4 years, just to give you context, that's never happened in the United States history. 80 trillion.
And all that.
Too much stimmy. Too much crab legs.
That was, yeah.
Now it's $3 to get on the subway.
Scamming. Yeah, they're going to get their money back.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get their money back.
Yeah, because they pass it on to the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever prices go high for a business, we pass it on to the consumer. Look, you remember you was recording, right?
Right.
Prices went high here.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to go up on the price for the recording studio time.
Right.
Because my cost.
Everybody went up.
Boom.
Right. Barbers.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
It was the cost of goods and services went up, and it gets passed on to the customer. We're the customers, and we're also the producers at the same time.
Hey, yo.
So the way that it's looking is that he's trying to get reciprocal tariffs to make it a more even playing field, but he's not going to fix the economic problem. You can't unprint $80 trillion of funny
that's
money.
Already,
Can't do that.
That's already done.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
What does that mean for me and you, the regular people on the bottom? We're going to continue to get screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
I was looking at this thing on YouTube, and there was a guy, and he was talking about how he's 50 years old, broke, single, and he was talking about where he went wrong.
Damn.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he said was he married the wrong person.
Oh,
that's obvious, because that's the biggest decision that we can make.
Yeah.
He also said, which was interesting, he had a business, but he made poor decisions with his business related in relationship to his marriage. So in other words, the time that he went into a lot of debt was when he was married. And that's probably because, and he didn't get into too much detail, it's probably because, A, he was trying to keep up with the Joneses because he had a wife.
Right, right.
And she had requirements.
Right,
but
right.
Probably had minimal contribution.
Yeah.
And then once he wasn't able to produce,
then,
she got to go.
Yeah.
But then he also said something. He said, yo, also, it's not like how it was before in the 60s where you could just make an average salary and be able to support a family. And he was like, don't beat yourself up because you are not responsible for that. You're a victim of it. And when he said that, it was interesting. Because I know we taught, look, you can't have the victim mentality, which is true.
Right.
Because it don't really get you nowhere. You got to adjust. You got to adapt. That's the whole point of being a human being. But he was saying things that took place in your lifetime, whether you realize it or not, has never taken place in any other lifetime or any other generation in the United States of America, ever. Post-COVID is different. The world is different.
Right, bro.
It's different.
Right, bro. Right, bro. Right. I agree with that tenfold. This is a whole new thing we're looking at here. Like,
the old device does not apply.
Yeah.
Does not apply.
Yeah. And you have to adapt to whatever this is.
Right.
Or else you be lost in whatever that it's wild.
The old paradigm.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. It's the truth. So, I say all that to say this, and not to get so down, not to turn us on the downside, right? Because we went a lot of topics. We didn't really
we was everywhere.
Right?
You
Like,
feel me?
The goal right now, I think, especially for you, is to really go back to that question that and I want to end it with this so it can really hit home.
Mm-hmm.
Could I, but should I?
Could I, but should I? Mm-hmm.
I could go and buy a new Infinity.
Right.
Your credit is good. You got stable employment.
Yeah.
The car dealership, they want to make money off of the loan.
Right. So they're gonna
want to do whatever they can do to get you in a loan so that they can get their commission and go and feed their family.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do it, but should you do it? I could go and buy a designer, but should I?
Should you? Right.
I could go and eat this terrible food, but should I?
You know what I was met with last week?
So
I could sleep with this woman who I know has feelings for me.
But should you?
But should I?
Should I?
Should I use that to get what I...
Let's explore both.
Yeah.
We got time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make time. We at, an hour 24? Who cares? We're going to do this. We want to go 2 hours. We can do it.
Facts.
Let's explore this.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Right, I could.
What determines that you could?
The access. I even asked for consent.
Mm-hmm.
The consent was there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Maybe her desire as well is there.
yeah, correct.
Right.
Tension, yeah. So all that is there. It feels right. Well, no, let me not say that. It doesn't feel right.
Well, this is the could I of the equation.
Right.
So you're allowed to say that.
Yeah. So it feels right.
Yeah, vagina feels great.
Yeah, exactly.
Feels great.
Exactly. And that's what my body wants right now.
Right.
That's what it's. Yeah. That's the could I. What else goes there? Yeah. That's the could I. Should I? I know. I don't feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I know that once this happens, cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
I know once the cause happens, the effect of this is now the feelings and emotions and the
right,
that extra comes. Yeah, right. Possibility of pregnancy may be there.
Yes.
You feel me? And I don't want that, but that is also a possibility. That right. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say disease.
Yeah.
Is also, because who knows?
Who knows?
Me? So all these things, all of these things. Yeah, it's for the right.
What's preventing you from the should I?
And this was the interesting part. The inner voice, the discernment, that the I've been here before. I know what this feels like. Do I repeat these actions when knowing what this feels like? When knowing also what it may do to this other person? So,
is this other person possibly qualified for a long-term committed relationship? Do they meet the standards of the should I go this far? Because there's nothing wrong.
Right.
It's all about positioning on the chessboard. There's nothing wrong with you being with a woman. That's not what we going with for those who are watching. It is the where you are at in your life and can you handle the responsibility. So therefore, should I move forward? And so what I'm hearing from you is that you're not in position to handle the responsibility that comes with that.
Correct.
Wise man. You got to know your limits. TK Kirkland said this, and I shared it with one of my guys, Will. Shout out to my dog, Will. We train together. Dope artist, too. And I'm going to share it with him. And I told him this. I said, yo, bro, you talking about females. And I said, but I didn't tell him TK Kirkland said this. I should have. I just said, but you shouldn't be doing nothing with no female unless you got $10K in the bank. And they was confused. And I kept saying, bro, you have been accustomed to being a freaky bum.
Oh, yeah.
Because the women that you're dealing with don't require a certain caliber of man to go inside of them. And you are so used to making decisions from a broke perspective that you don't know the other side of the equation. And then he said, yo, you be talking like, I shouldn't be getting no shorties or nothing. No, I'm not saying that. It's just your position on the chessboard. Right. Which comes first?
Right.
The horse or the carriage?
Right.
So you mean to tell me spending money on shorties comes first, but you don't even have no money to handle an emergency? Look, my car got broken into. It cost me some money.
Right.
Inconvenience. You want to know why? Because I had reserves by the grace of God. But also, I remember the time when I didn't have a reserve and how much that made me feel inadequate and powerless. And then when I look back at why I didn't have a reserve, it was because I didn't ask myself that question. Could I or should I?
Right.
Could I, but should I? That's the main thing. Could I go out on a date? Yeah, but should I?
Should I? Right.
Nah.
Bro, I'll be inside now.
I could save $200.
What? Bro, what? You know how many times I'll be... Damn, it's Friday.
Google stock, one share of Google is $148. That's a date.
That's why you got to start thinking smarter. thinking
Hello.
where,
Hello.
yeah.
NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody using AI.
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT, original programming,
Mm-hmm.
$93 on sale. Hello. Go out on a date
Spend your money.
or buy Google.
Right. Hey, that's a ooh, man, you gotta. You feel me? I feel like that's where you got it, man. You got
On
it,
that
man.
note, Trey,
On
I think
that
we should
note-
end it.
On that note, facts. You feel me? I just learned
Tell them where they can find you.
yo, you already know, dot. I said dot, Marlon. 3 eyes, dot
3
nostalgia.
eyes.
You know, got some cool music on there if you want to tap in. You know, yeah, and you know, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Trey, very thankful
yeah,
to know you.
likewise, bro.
I was talking to Benny about all of the people that we have worked with and impacted, and you know who we had the privilege of being influenced, and you're definitely on that list.
Thank you.
We're going on almost a decade of friendship, right? I met you
Sensei. I was thinking about that the other day.
a long
Sensei
time.
shop, bro. Yeah, bro.
Long
yeah,
time,
a minute.
long
Yeah,
time.
the dreads.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So very thankful for that, bro.
Me as well.
Yeah, another episode. Rell Gato TV, man. Hope you got something from it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. And you know, let's end it with could I, but should I?
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna name this episode.
Yeah,
Could
I
I,
like that.
but should I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. RedAutumnNYC.com. Shout out to my dog Benny Musa. Shout out to Brooklyn MMA. Shout out to the family, all of the Leafs. And yeah, man, we signing off. Peace.